So The Girl on the Train is a novel written by Paula Hawkins. It was a huge bestseller. I've read the book. It's an absolute page turner. The Girl on the Train tells the story of Rachel. She's an alcoholic. She is mentally and physically demolished by the end of her marriage to her ex-husband Tom. She rides the train in and out of the city every single day, and at one stop she sees this perfect couple in her mind, and she projects all of her insecurities onto them, fixates on them, makes up names, makes up scenarios, pictures what their jobs must be like, how wonderful their relationship is, how perfect their lives are, really starts to live vicariously through the fantasy of this couple's life. One day, passes through, sees the girl kissing a man that is not her husband, and so starts the intrigue, suspense, and the mystery of The Girl on the Train. Or at least it starts all those things in the novel. In the movie, it starts a 2-hour and 15-minute bore fest full of people you don't like, don't care about, and really don't feel like watching for 2 hours. Guys, I am so disappointed with the way that they adapted this novel. I struggle to even really call it an adaptation. This is like the Cliff Notes version of the novel. Every scene in this movie is taken damn near verbatim out of the book, but the things that they decide to focus on most of the time don't need to be focused on, and the things that they leave on the cutting room floor or in the novel that don't even make it into this movie are so important and integral to knowing these characters, to caring about these characters, to understanding their relationships. It baffles me why the hell they left all that stuff out. Naturally, when you're bringing a book to the screen, you're going to miss certain details. Some things are going to get left behind. Some things aren't going to get as fleshed out as they are in the book. But there is no character development in this. There is no relationship development in this. You don't like any of the people on screen. You don't understand their motivations. They rush past things that they don't need to rush past. They focus on things that they don't need to focus on. It is an absolute mess. The way that the novel's laid out, each chapter starts with a person's name, the date, the morning, so you kind of spend one part of the story on Rachel, one part of the story on Anna, one part of the story on Megan, who is the person who becomes missing in this. And in this movie, it starts out that way, but then you focus most of the time on Rachel. You get little snippets of Anna, so you barely get to know her character at all. And the only scenes that they focus on Megan are scenes that make you absolutely hate her, not care that she's missing, and in the end, really don't care what the hell happened to her. There's so many things that they could have spent time on that would have fleshed this movie out, made it feel more relatable, that they never even bothered to do. Rachel's relationship with her roommate, played by Laura Prepon in this, skip past that almost entirely. Rachel's back and forth rivalry with Anna over Tom's affections, skip over that almost entirely. Megan's fixation with her psychiatrist and her unrelenting need for other males' attention whenever the prospect of having children comes up, skip over that entirely. Rachel's trips back and forth to the city to a job that she lost over a year ago, and this just life-encompassing lie that she puts on every single day that really feeds into how much of a broken person she is, get rid of all that. And the relationship that's at the core of this novel, that makes everything tie together, that makes everything make sense, that makes everything tangible, that makes you care about things, Rachel's relationship with Tom. It's not even here. They mention twice about how she calls him constantly or she walks past their house, but that is such a huge part of the story, how just unforgiving and just unrelenting she is at pursuing this guy and wanting to be part of his life, and he wants absolutely nothing to do with her. It's barely in here, and you barely get to know Tom as a character from the beginning of the movie to the end. All of the twists and turns that the novel takes you on, not a single one is transferred onto the screen effectively. Not a single one. From the opening scene to the end credits, this movie is just monotone from beginning to end, and you sit there and 2 hours feels like 4. I don't blame the actors for the performances that we got in this. I blame the direction and I blame the writing, because these 3 characters in the novel are very fleshed out. You understand and know them very well when you're reading this book, and in this movie you have the most basic watered down shell of these 3 characters. You have an alcoholic, a housewife, and a whore. And if you have those 3 characters and that's what you got out of the book, you totally missed the point of those 3 women. When what they should have done is take these 3 characters and take all these character relationships and take certain pieces of it and interweave it into a one coherent story. What they do is they take a cookie cutter and they chop little certain scenes out of the book, play it absolutely verbatim. They don't even bother trying to do anything new, inventive, or different to it when they're adapting it, and they just put it together and hope that it's going to work out. One of the most important rules when you're adapting a novel, a comic book, a video game, anything into movies is that you have to change it when you're changing the medium. You can't just put exactly what's on the page and throw it on the screen and expect it to work the same, because what works on the page doesn't always work on the screen. There's a few analogies I can use to explain how this movie is, to kind of give you an idea what this experience is like. Have you ever looked up a book or a movie on Wikipedia, and instead of experiencing the movie or book, you just read the plot synopsis online? Girl on a Train. Have you ever told a story to somebody, and then that somebody tells somebody, and then that somebody tells somebody, and they tell somebody, and by the time it reaches a 5th or 6th person, the story you initially told now becomes some watered down shell of the original tale? Girl on a Train. Have you ever watched a season finale to a TV show that you have never watched before? And in that one single episode, you know the characters that are in it, you understand the plot that's going on in that one episode, but you don't get the character relationships, you don't have any attachment to them, you don't understand the stakes? Girl on a Train. So to wrap all this up, guys, this is a very disappointing, half-ass made adaptation of a phenomenal novel. This movie is boring, the characters are unlikable, you don't care about any of them, you don't care about the mystery surrounding the girl on the train, you just want the movie to end as soon as possible. If you haven't read the book, absolutely go out and pick that up. It is a damn good read, you will not be able to put it down, but as far as the movie adaptation of The Girl on the Train, absolutely skip it. So what did you guys think of The Girl on the Train? Have you read the novel? What did you think about the movie adaptation? Put all that in the comment section and we'll talk about it. Like and share this video, and please hit that subscribe button. That way you get to come back and see me next time. But if that's not soon enough to check out some more of my videos, you can check out a few more by clicking right over here.